Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here on July 1st, man. New month, new goals, new opportunities, man. I got a great group of cappers with me today, cooking up some baseball, man. We're in the dog days of summer, but still a lot of value, still a lot of money to be made. And I got the best group of guys with me to help us do just that. Got a great card, man. I got cleaned up yesterday, one of my roughest days, but I got the crew with me. They're going to help me bounce back. I'm going to bounce back today. I'm confident in that. And first up, man, I got my guy, one of the funniest people I know, Roof. What's up, man?
Funny or funny looking? There's
Maybe a little bit of both.
there's a difference, and I've been told both. So, yeah, it's been it was a whirlwind June, but hey, like you said, Jay, new opportunities in July. I'm ready to get started. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Baseball, I'm enjoying it right now. My Rangers are in a tough dogfight series. They let me down yesterday with them Astros, but got a good game today. Got a great card, and like I said a minute ago, I'm ready to bounce back and make some money today.
I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be an awesome day. Great card, and it definitely was something that you had to kind of pick your way through. But you know what? I ended up finding some decent value on the board, so I'm excited for it.
Yes, sir. So before we hop into some baseball, y'all know I'm the NBA guy. I love talking some hoops. Your Raptors, they lost Van Vliet yesterday. How you feel about that?
I always knew he was. I knew he was probably going to go. There was no way a guy like that, who's started to really blossom, as a point guard, as a lead guard in the NBA, he wasn't going to take 22 million. And the word was coming out that Houston had all this money to spend. They were looking for someone sort of, take over, be in that sort of be that next floor general. This is still a young team, and while Van Vliet's fairly young himself, he's in his late 20s. He can be. We're going to see if he can actually be that guy. He was doing a decent job in Toronto, but now he really takes the reins over a really young Houston team. But I'm excited. It's just another great piece, and maybe they overpaid for him. We'll have to see. I think he got 43 million a year or something like that, but it's a max deal for what he was entitled to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's my favorite time of year. I love NBA free agency. I got my phone right here and the notifications on. Anything else kind of surprised you NBA wise?
Well, first I thought going crazy. I thought it was still July 1st for free agency. Maybe I was wrong, but then I saw the stuff line. I was like, all right, I'll take it a day early. I don't care. But I guess I'm not surprised that it happened. But Tyrese Halliburton, I was surprised at the amount. I think I saw 260 on the Supermax. I mean, he's going to be their face of the future. I was surprised with the number, but not surprised that he signed a max extension. I think that's a great lockup.
Some guys got paid yesterday. Desmond Bain as well. He got, what do you get? 207 from the Grizzlies.
I didn't see that, but you got to start building just in case someone doesn't work out with John Morant. I mean, you gotta have a plan B, and I guess that B stands for Bain. But the other one that kind of took me by surprise was Gabe Vincent. I didn't think he was going to jump, but so I Gabe Vincent and Bruce Brown. Those were two that I didn't really see leaving. I guess that quote from Michael Malone saying they were going to run it back didn't age too well, but
yeah, that was hilarious, man. Bruce Brown said, "Not me."
He said, "No, one and done. I'm out of here." But
yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what? Guys are going to get paid. It's just the era of today's NBA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a quick update on what's going on in free agency with my guy Roof. Got a lot of baseball on the card today. What you looking at for us today?
You know what? It is Canada Day, so I gotta stay local. I gotta go local, and I'm gonna go to that match between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. And Yusei Kikuchi, he's done a great job, turning things around. He had a rough 2022 season. It ended up, with him finishing his season as a long relief arm, but now he's come back into the lineup 7-2 at 3.75 ERA. But the problem is for me that the Blue Jays offense is still wildly inconsistent. They're still really struggling with runners in scoring position over the last month. And this Boston team, they took it to the Blue Jays once again on Friday, now 5-0 in the season series. And I'm just not, even as well as Yusei Kikuchi has been playing, I'm not looking to lay minus 165 with a Blue Jays team that's lost 17 of their last 21 within the division. The Boston Red Sox, yes, this is a sub 500 team. But right now, if you covered up the records, I would almost assume that the Red Sox had the better record. That's just how inconsistent the Blue Jays bats have been. They've been terrible against the division, while Boston 14-11 against the AL East this season. Now, these are the games you need to take advantage of. These are the games, you play these teams 12, 13 times a year. You can't afford to have a terrible record against teams within the division. Right now, the Blue Jays haven't shown me that they're worth laying this kind of price with. So much as I love my Blue Jays, I gotta take the Red Sox here at plus 140.
Chris, man, you see, I flipped my hat, man. Switched up on the game.
That's why I said I love my Jays, but as much as I want to say they win every game, the reality is they're not going to. So,
facts. I get it. Hey, I took it on the chin with them yesterday. They were my play of the week yesterday, and hey, the Red Sox, they have their number. The Red Sox have the Blue Jays number. I think they've won all 5 games between them this season. Kikuchi Mangado, and a crazy stat. The Blue Jays, they're one of my teams. They're wildly inconsistent, but I was actually watching the game yesterday. The Blue Jays have the best record in the American League in the month of June. It's kind of crazy. It wasn't great. I think it was only like 16-10. The whole American League kind of was just treading water in in the month of June, but I don't know, man. I'm with you. The price is kind of crazy. You're getting crazy value with the Red Sox, but I don't know, man. I might gotta roll with my Jays on this one.
I think it's just that premium that you see with Toronto teams for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but and not to divert too far, but you see it with the Leafs. You see it with the Blue Jays. We've seen it multiple times with the Blue Jays this season, times where they probably didn't justify the price they were laying, and it's come back to bite them. Like I said, I see 4-17 in your last 21 games within the division. That's a red flag for me.
That's fair. I feel you for sure.
But I mean, I guess we talk about the AL East and how it's been for the better part of the season, the best division in baseball. I mean, there was one point earlier on the season where all the teams in the AL East had 21 wins, where any other division, I know this is going back to like May, but any other team in any other division that led the division, only one team had 21 or more wins. So AL East has been the best division by far, and the Blue Jays have struggled in it. So sort of the way I'm seeing it.
Should be a good game. I will be sitting right here watching it later for sure. So what else you got for the guys today over at Pick Dogs?
Pick Dogs today. I got a $19 MLB pickoff play. Still 10-3 in those last 13 with those, and that play part of my Saturday MLB triple play as well for $39.95. But definitely best way to go is long term, whether it's just me or someone else. One of the great cappers here is part of the 2-for-1 capper deal. Definitely can't go wrong with Pick Dogs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roof, man. Great seeing you today. Anything else on your mind before you get out of here?
Nah, man, like you just said, I'm ready to see the rest of free agency, where the other dominoes fall. I don't know for the Raptors if Dennis Schroeder was a suitable replacement for Fred VanVleet, but we'll have to see. Toronto's not necessarily a team that makes a ton of big moves based on their like tax situation, so we'll have to see. But I'm excited to see where everybody else goes. Some of these other numbers have fallen. See if we can get any more crazy contracts to come out.
Yeah, we still got a few big dominoes to fall, the James Harden domino and things like that. So we shall see what's going to happen in the NBA, and we'll be here to talk about it all summer long. So
100%.
Appreciate you, Roof.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
See you later.
See ya.
Ruffalo, man. That's my guy right there. Next up, I'm going to one of my other guys, man. Another guest that was very frequent on the jam session. My boxing guru. Wayne. So with it, man.
What's going on, Jay? Happy to be here, man. Glad you're hosting. What you got for me today? Let's get it.
Man, let's get it. Let's go. It's like I said at the top, new month, new goals, new opportunities. Love to start a new month, man. Kind of clear my head. Kind of just assess what I did in the last month and how I'm going to attack the new one. And I had a good month of baseball. I really did. I started off hitting damn near everything that touched the sun. And then I've kind of cooled off here a bit. But like I said, I'm ready to attack it, man. I had some good units in June, so I'm ready to stack some more in July. What about you?
Same thing, man. Had a pretty hot this month. Stayed on the leaderboard all month. Stacked my units up this month, and now it's when I run hot like this, sometimes I can get a little big headed. So now it's me just about staying consistent, man. Not feeling like I just can get every game right every day, and just sticking with the ones that just get me there, and limiting these losers, because that's what it's about, man. Keeping that cash in your pocket and not just giving it back to the books when you get hot. So
facts. Talk to him. That's why I love Pick Dogs, man. We're not only do we bet every day, help y'all bet every day, but we talk too. We love to express how we get to where we're going and how our betting strategies are. Just certain things like that. Like Wayne said, I was running hot too, and I get big headed sometimes too. We all do. Or when you're losing, sometimes you chase. We all fall victim of it, so we're all a community and we all just trying to put it together, man. So let's continue doing just that. You've been seeing the baseball card well. I'm interested to see what you got for me today. What you got for me?
We're gonna go to this game between the Houston and the Rangers. I got a little double pick for you, y'all. I'm a lean Houston. But
my goodness,
first, I'm sorry, Jay. No, I mean, I love it. Evaldi on the mound, getting a 130, 135 price point on it. I get it. They're at home. Just lost yesterday, so I get it. And a good game where Houston came out and pretty much dominated from the start. Rangers didn't really have a chance. But my main play on this one, as far as my free play, I'm looking at that over, man. I love the over in this situation. It landed right on the 8 mark yesterday, and I think at the very most, since the hook is not on it, since it's not 8.5 at 8, I think we get the push here, but I think it does go over. I know we have 2 good pitchers in the starting mound, but I do think that both of these pitchers, the way that these teams are batting, they can give up 1 or 2 runs. Hunter Brown, he's looked solid in his last outing against the Dodgers, only 3 hits, 1 run, 1 home run. But then in the game before that, he gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, and 2 home runs. Evaldi, he showed a little regression as well. And here's the big kicker, the big stat for me that the reason I love it, besides Houston being 6-3-1 in the over in their last 10, like I said, the bats warming up, and Texan being 4-2-4. 4 wins, 2 losses, and 4 pushes. So they have a winning record in their last 10 to the over. After when Houston is a home favorite, they are 19-8 and 6 pushes. The over goes over at a 70% rate. They are the home favorite here. Both of these bats are hot. The Rangers bullpen, we know they're susceptible giving up the runs. Houston's bullpen is a little better, but they can give up the runs. I just love that over 8 in this one. So that's my play, my free play for the day. Over 8, Houston Rangers, hot bats, these good starting pitchers. So I know some people might want to run away from it. Not going to trick me here. I think we see some runs here.
Yes, sir. I ain't mad at it, man. Rangers, one of the best offenses in baseball. We know Houston can crank it up when they decide to. I could see an over. My Rangers let me down yesterday. It was a good game. I watched it an entire way through. The Astros, this is going to be a tight division. It's going to be tight, I think, all the way down. I was glad to see my Rangers grab an early lead in this division, but this is a very, very, very important series. A lot riding on this series. If I'm remembering correctly, I think the Rangers could go up as many as like 7-8 games with, a very good series, but the Astros can close it to like 3-2 games. So, it's very interesting. The Angels are playing extremely well. They got the best player I've ever seen on the planet in Shohei Ohtani. He's playing extremely well. What he hit a home run last night too, like 4 something. It was his deepest one of his career. Baseball's really fun right now. It's going to be a fun division to keep your eye on, man. The AL West. Y'all know,
definitely heating up. Houston definitely hitting up, but I'm I like baseball. I ain't gonna say I love baseball. I like baseball, and I'm really starting to like it a lot more. The more I'm just watching it and staying in tune with it. But I'm here to talk basketball with you a little bit.
Talk to me,
man. That Jeremy Grant, I don't feel like he should have got a max. I know you guys talking about players that got a max deal. I was surprised at that. I mean, I know Portland needed him, but I didn't feel like they needed a max deal, needed him. But they gave it up for him. So
So I was talking to some of my friends yesterday, and what I said was that, he's not that type of player, but Portland is the type of city, small market city, where that you gotta overpay to keep guys, because guys not coming in. So the guys that you do have to keep them to stay, you gotta overpay. So yeah, they definitely overpay for Grant. I think it's gonna hurt them in the long run, but got some young guys over there. We'll see. And Damian Lillard, we still got to see what that domino is talking about, because every day it's a new story with him. He leaving, now he's staying, now he want to request a trade, now he's not. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do.
Yes, sir. One pickup for the Magic so far. I got to speak on that. Joe Ingles, I thought that was a great pickup.
That was a great pickup for y'all.
Good veteran, good floor spacer. A guy who I think still got some something in the tank, definitely when you're coming off the bench. But we have no veterans on that team. So to have a veteran that can actually contribute, and we were one of the worst three-pointer shooting teams. I don't think nobody on the team shot over 30%. So to bring a floor spacer, three-point shooter, go Magic, like that pickup.
You saw my boys. We got re-signed my boy Ree. I know I'm gonna talk to Mitch and Ron.
I like that. I didn't know what he was gonna do. So.
We kept my boy Ree, and then we got Seth Curry back in the D, man. So
that was a good one.
I like that pickup for us too, man. I think we could use some shooting. He plays a little defense. Good with Kyrie. Remember, there was at Duke together, and then in New York together, or Brooklyn, I should say, and now back in Dallas. So. It's just gonna be interesting next season, man. Mavs in 4 for all my jam session folk, man, and can't wait till the NBA rolls back around.
I ain't trying to hog the show up either, but I do want to give that Franchise Cruz bet out one more time too. That's a bet that I am on today, and I'm giving it out for free, plus 320. I don't talk about women's fights too much because there's not much to talk about. It's probably like 200 women fighters in the world, but these are two of the top 10 ones in women's boxing, so I will be tuned into this fight. It's going to be a good fight. Franchise Cruz and Savannah Marshall tonight, and I know you know about that Canelo, and you don't want to hit me up about that Canelo and Charlo. So a lot of big fights in boxing, a lot of good money to be made. Definitely on these huge odds on these underdogs who can actually fight. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Like I said at the top, man, Wayne, my boxing guru. So any questions I've been having lately, I go straight to Wayne. So thank you, Wayne, for joining me today. Anything else before you get on out of here? Or what you got for sale today? I don't think I asked you that. What you got for sale today?
My play of the day, which I hit yesterday, hit and run play of the day. Went 3-1 yesterday. I lost with the Orioles. Good win with the Rays yesterday in San Fran. Back with another 3-pack today. Only 3 plays. So everything that I have that I'm betting on today, I am offering. I feel real good about these plays today. So hop right on and let's continue to cash. Let's continue to stack these units up and pair me up with one of these fine top handicappers, man. With that 2-for-1 handicap special and a promo code pick, man. Saving some money on these picks. Let's cash in today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Wayne, man. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
All right, Jay. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Wayne Scott, man, the man with the plan, my boxing guru. Next up, boss man, or like I like to call him, Money Man Mitch. What's going on?
I was muted there for a second. I was used to Chris and Rod doing that to me in the morning show. It's like I'm not gonna start talking, man. I know I'm muted, so I'm gonna make sure I unmute first. So I did. I'm just watching a lot of this NBA free agency as well, and I'm pretty excited about it. Looks like the Heat are preparing to do something here because they're starting to move some guys around and getting rid of some salary. Oladipo and Strus both gone with really getting nothing in return for either of those guys, which makes you believe that they're looking for one guy out there and they're gonna go get him. I don't know who it is, but there's still plenty of players out there. I think that this King signing of this guy from Greece, my guess is this guy can light it up, man.
I'm glad you said it before.
Those Euros, man, they are all of a sudden it's like, right? It's like we've seen this. So it's like, how many times we gotta see this?
Sasha Vezenkov, I think is his name. 6'9".
I don't know. I've never seen him play. I've never heard of him. I'm gonna guess this guy's gonna just bust up some parlays. You know,
they say he's 6'9". He's the reigning EuroLeague MVP, and the King signed him 3-year, $20 million.
Yep, that's the
an
one.
Elite shooting stretch 4.
Yeah,
from Greece.
Oh, my guess he's bomber. You know, it's like that's how those guys are. It's like you get those guys. It seems they go on these runs where they just don't miss. You know, like Steph. Not as good as Steph, but like that sort of thing. You know,
and I would say that we really haven't, or at least I don't think, you know, the top Euro guys that have come over, they've translated now.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like, I don't think he might not be a bust. So
I think the coaching that we see in the NBA, that a lot of these guys have gone to a different style where it's like they just make sure that they set these guys up in position to do what they do best. You know, and that's really what it's all about. You know, it's not like feed the ball to Kobe and let him create in space. You know, it's more, you know, get everybody in position that, you know, when they kick the ball out, the guy's wide open. You know, if they kick it inside, the guy is in a good matchup. It's like, it just always seems to be that way. A lot of coaching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So a lot of good. I'm watching this free agency. Like I said, I love this time of year. Anything else kind of, you know, surprise you a little bit?
I just think that, you know, it doesn't really surprise me all that much. I'm just happy for Halliburton to get that max deal. Yep. I think he absolutely deserves it. And, you know, he plays on a lousy team, so he doesn't always get the recognition, but I think that's a guy that absolutely deserves a max deal, you know? And I just thought, you know, maybe not a move to another team or anything like that, not re-signing like Chris Middleton or something, you know, something like that. I think this is one that kind of flies under there, and you say, you know what, we've locked this guy in for 5 years. We don't have to worry about him, you know, and it's like we can now build with him. And it's like, because he's the Pacers might not have the answers, but if they are closer to the answers, he's part of the solution, right? So it's like you can't be messing with that.
Yep. We've seen the Pacers trade away their young talent plenty of times, Paul George, and, you know, so
the Pacers seem to never have a problem having one really good guy.
Yeah, they do. They usually have one guy that's usually like, man, and when he's there, he's like, is he better than we think he is?
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. I mean, it's exactly what who was the guy from Michigan that they had? Oh man, what's his name? It's like all of a sudden this guy's really good. They traded him, but anyways. Before I get started, and I'll remind everybody at the end, we have a free consensus giveaway, 3 days. Use the code Mitch15. Can you see that on the card? There you go. Mitch15. Use this code, go to consensus report, enter this where it says apply code, and you'll get a free 3-day consensus. The offer ends tomorrow. So if you miss it, too bad, so sad. This is to celebrate my 15 years online today. I typed into Google, how do I start a website? And here I am 15 years later. So I'll talk about that a little later. But anyways.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to Money Man Mitch. Baseball today. Got a lot of baseball today.
Well, my game that I picked, this is a game that just ended. It just ended a couple minutes ago. The Rays against the Mariners. This game went on all freaking night. You know, when they start bringing in the position players to pitch, that's when, you know, things have gone awry. And they said, so there was a situation in last night's game. So the Mariners were up 4-0. If you didn't see the game, the Mariners were up 4-0. Their pitcher got a blister. He had to leave the game, and they had gotten to McClanahan, you know, for 4 runs. He was out after 3 innings, but the Rays bullpen was really sharp last night anyway. And all of a sudden they just started picking like the Rays do. Home run here, you know, leave a guy on a Rosarena, puts one, you know, into the parking lot. It's like, and here come the Rays. And then all of a sudden in the 8th inning, the Mariners just could not get them out. They just could not get them out. So this is like one of these very rare things that happen. 7 batters in a row for the Rays had an RBI. So 7 consecutive batters that came to the plate had an RBI in a row. You never see that. Right. So the only time it's ever been done like more than that, the Marlins had 9 a couple of years ago, but this 7. So it was the first time that the Mariners had ever given up 7 RBIs and 7 batters. And it was the first time the Rays ever had 7 batters. So I don't love Glass now. And Kirby, I don't love, I like Kirby. I think he's got a very high side. I don't love the way he's pitched this season. And I tell you what, the Rays, that game we've seen the Rays, start the season really hot. And then we saw them kind of slow down a little bit, level off. And then we saw them, we've seen them at times, when they're pushed, that they're able to play again. And the Rays bullpen is all, it's like, I think everyone would love that sort of catastrophe to have the Rays record, right? Oh, the bullpen, is terrible. It's like, look at the record, right? It's like, they're not that terrible. And I think what happened last night was it happened in the second game in Arizona, where the Rays were down in the 8th inning. And, they get to the top of the 9th, they're down by 2, they score 3 runs. And then all of a sudden it's like, since that inning, the Rays have been on fire. And we saw it last night. And I just think it carries over here. I think when you get to that point in the game and you saw Seattle, come to the mound for the meetings, because there was several meetings on the mound in the 8th inning last night. You just saw the wind sucked out of this team, where they were just like, we can't get these guys out. We just can't get them out. And, they bring in the position player, his first pitch, was just tape measure home run. So the Rays, they weren't like ready to take it easy. And then the Rays finally decide that they're going to take their foot off the gas, and they just basically hit ground balls to the shortstop to end the inning and to end the game. It was kind of like, that was the end of it. But, I think that it just carries over to today. I just like the way the Rays are playing better than the way that the Mariners are playing. I like Kirby. I like the high side. I like all the things that the Mariners are doing with their pitching staff. I like Woo. I like, the young guys. I like the whole thing.
Castillo.
Yeah, sometimes we see teams take that step forward like the Mariners did last year, then take a small step backwards, and then the following year be good again. And I think, unfortunately, for the Mariners, that's what they're going through, because they're in a division that's come up tough this year, and they're also, with 3 teams ahead of them now in the West. I don't think the Mariners are going to unload, some of this young talent or anything like that, or the guys that they need. But I don't think they're going to add either, because I don't think that even adding is going to help them in the situation that they're in, because they've got the 4 teams in the American League East that they're going to have to compete with for the wild card. And then they've got the 3 teams in their division that are ahead of them. They're in a bad spot here. So I think they got to just get their pitchers the experience that they need, kind of bite the bullet, and hopefully fill in a couple of these holes in the offseason. And, I think the Mariners have been top heavy in their batting order all season. So when you see Rodriguez, strike out 3 times like he did last night, you can't win, you just can't win. So I'm going to take the Rays here, get him up fairly cheap.
Tampa. They kind of struggled through June. They kind of were just going through the motions, but
no, I didn't. I did. I just had a great June.
But hey, don't they still currently have the best record in the American League? So
they have the best record in baseball, I believe.
Did the Braves not catch them?
I thought the
Braves caught them.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see right quick. I don't check it every day in baseball because
I check it every day because they do the videos. So the 28, the Braves have caught them. Yeah. So the Rays have more wins. The Rays have 3 in the win column. The Braves have 1 in the loss column. So the Rays have a slightly better win percentage.
Okay. Yes, sir, man. Baseball, I'm loving it right now in the midst of a good year. We got different strategies. I've been peeping you, man. I've been peeping you with your dogs. So you're going with a favorite on the show today. We'll see if
mild favorite. I like the over in this game too. So if we got to get plus odds, we can do a same game parlay with the over. I don't understand how this total. It opened at 6.5. It went 7.5 quickly, and now it's back down to 7. But I don't see it. I think Glass now has the full ability to give that up himself, and I think that when Kirby's not on top of his game and the way the Rays are hitting right now, oh man, I could see 17.
Yeah, we saw him explode for 8-1, so it wouldn't surprise me at all. What you got for sale over at Pig Dogs today?
I got 3-pack, and I got my regular big play. And, I have extra plays too. If you buy long-term packages, it's always the best deal at Pick Dogs for any of our cappers. Most of the guys will have their regular picks, their packages they put out there. And some days, to be honest with you, I'll only have like my big play out for sale, and I'll have other picks that I have in there. And today's one of those days where I have a 3-pack, and then I have a 1-pack, and then I have other picks as well. But like I said, free consensus report. Use this code Mitch15. That's to celebrate my 15 years of being online. It all started on July 1st, 2008. And, my story's out there on the internet as to how I got started. I get asked all the time, how do you get started? How do you start? What I did, I typed into Google, how do I start a website? This is exactly what I did. You can look it up. You can hear interviews from me when I'm 3 months in and a month in. They're out there on the internet. You can Google Mitch Wilson Sports Handicapper, and you can find there's interviews with me, and I lay out exactly what I'm going to do over the next 10 years. This is what I say. I said, this is what I'm doing now. And these are some things I might do over the next 10 years. And a lot of those things I've done, some of those things we don't do anymore. And a lot of those other things we continue to do today. But, I didn't know at the time doing those interviews, that's what I was doing, but I did. And I'm really excited. I want to thank everybody, though, more than anything. That's really the idea of the free consensus report, is not to, do anything else. Use the code Mitch15 when it says apply code. It really is. I just want to thank everybody out there that's been part of my journey over the last 15 years. I've learned a lot. There's a lot of things I would have done differently if I had the opportunity to do so. But I'll tell you what, one of the things that I wouldn't do differently is that I've been 100% transparent and true to myself every single day that I've been doing this. I say things that are unpopular. I say things that people don't want to hear. And I make picks in games that make people feel uncomfortable. I mean, that's what I do. I do the things and say the things that everybody's thinking and that everybody would love to say and everybody knows is the truth, but they're afraid to say it. And I would just I just so appreciate all of you that have tuned into Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place over all the years to give me a platform to do that. Because this is who I am. You could ask any of these guys behind the scenes. We fight like family fights. We talk to each other the way family talks to each other. We don't. You could ask Wayne. Wayne's like, hey, I have an opinion on something. I tell him. You can tell him this morning. He gets into the chat. And he's like, I want to tell you my opinion. I said, well, this is my favorite part because this is when I get to tell you to go F yourself, right? But the thing is that we do it amongst ourselves to bring each other and make each other better. And that's what people do. And I explained to the guys, and I said it to them again this morning. The great teams hold each other accountable. And I think that I've built a community within our community of our Pick Dogs family that we all hold each other accountable. All you guys out there, I'm not talking the trolls in the YouTube comments, but I'm talking about our regular Pick Dogs family and our new members of our Pick Dogs family. You hold all of us accountable. When you see something out there that you're like, I don't like the way this is, and I don't think this is right or whatever, you let me know. A lot of times I say, too bad. And other times I say, you know what, you're right. But it's like we hold each other accountable to make each other better. And, I talk about every day, I say it in my video, we're the most viewed sports betting YouTube channel, and I'm way proud of that. But you know what else? Which we could also say, we're the largest sports betting YouTube channel of all time. And, we've created that as a community with all of us, all of our Pick Dogs handicappers and with all of you. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you for giving me this platform and allowing me to do this, because I don't think, well, I've already proved I can't hold any other job. So I appreciate it. And I thank you guys so much. And I promise that we're not going to change a damn thing. Anyways.
Money man Mitch.
Jay, thank you for being part of it. And thanks Ron and Rod and, Eric I see down there. Wayne is on the show. Big Al, and it's like Tony T and Brian and, everybody that's been part of our Pick Dogs journey, man. It's like I can't mention everybody, Chris, right? I mean, Brad and Mills and James Clark and Jovan and, it goes on and on and on. And and besides that, there's just as many people, if not more, that you never see or hear from that are part of our team. And it's like, it's been an amazing journey. And it's like, I encourage anyone out there that wants to, get in this business, do the work, man. I think I see a lot of people like tag us or something, and they'll be like, oh, that's how I'm going to get ahead. That's not how you get ahead. You get ahead by the worst possible day coming up from Jay Briggs will tell you, man, the worst possible day coming from the biggest party you ever went to with the least amount of sleep you ever had is getting in front of the camera, putting on a smile for 5 minutes and throwing up your freaking video. That's how you do it. That's how it's done, man. And I hold him accountable to that. I say, you go knock yourself out, man. Go watch the sunrise on the beach. I don't care, man. As long as my video's up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I need it too. I need it, and I love it.
Oh, we all do it, man. We all hold each other accountable, and we all learn from each other too. I'm still learning. I like bringing on Dave Miller and Micah. I'm still learning from these guys. I've been bad-mouthing teasers on this show for years. I had a talk with Dave Miller the other day. I mean, this guy just blows me away, right? It's like, listen to this. He's like, oh, yeah? He's like, you think teasers are such a bad bet, but how about this? How about if it's a 1.5 to 2 point game? You do a 6-point teaser, you go through 3 and 7, you get 2 key numbers in there. And if you're lucky, you got a book that's got a bad number on top of it. All of a sudden, you're taking something that's a reverse payout into a plus because of the value that's built into that bet. It's like, whoa, mind blown, right? 15 years of doing this. It's like, whoa, right? It's like, all right. So it's just crazy, crazy stuff. Of course, Eric as well, who's on the show today. All these other guys. It's like every day, every day we're learning something new. So it's like amazing stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And plenty of more stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yep. We're going to be bigger and better. We're going to hold each other more accountable as we're going to, we're certainly not going to rest on what we've done.
Facts.
That's not how we do it. Jay and I will be doing an entire football series coming up starting within the next week or so. We're going to be doing a daily football. I'm not going to sure if I think we might start with recorded and then turn it into a live show as a couple times a week. It will be live. And then other times it will be video, but it will be every day thing. I think at this time of the year, there's probably less sense in doing as many live, but maybe we'll do one live and 4 record. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. We always do, man. I'm excited for it because we'll start with, there's plenty we can talk about in the off season, but I think the live shows will help us stay on top of, any breaking news that happens with the NFL.
Yep. I can't wait, man. Football around the corner. Hell, whatchamacallit? Preseason to be here before you know it. So
no, it's a month away.
So I know July is here.
I'm sure Eric will talk about that as well.
Yes, sir.
He loves that Hall of Fame game. Not because of the game. He loves what it signifies, and that's football is here. I mean, I don't think I've heard guys talk. I mean, bring Eric and some of the other guys. Like, I don't think I've ever heard people talk about football this much, this early, But these guys, they kind of remind me. It's like we live in a world where it's 365 days a year. Football.
Yes, sir.
It is. It's 365 days a year, man. You can't rest on it. All right. Well, I'm not going to take up any more of everybody else's time. I've pretty much hijacked it, man. But Ron Romanelli, of course, thank you as well, and for everything you've done on our team. And Rod, all right, you're not fired, Rod. You just have to call Chris Sir. That's okay. Well, at least the rest of the baseball season.
For sure.
Well, no, we said third week of Monday Night Football. Third week of the NFL season, including Monday Night Football. It's a doubleheader. All right.
Appreciate you, Mitch. I see.
Thank you, Jay. Thanks for taking over the hosting on the weekends, man. It's life-changing for me. It's like I'm not doing any less. It just gives me more time to do some of the.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gotcha.
All right.
See you later.
Take care, everyone. Mitch 15, free consensus report. Use the code.
Money Man Mitch right there, man. Shout out to him. 15 years on the internet. Without him, I probably wouldn't be right here, man. So shout out to him. Next up, now we got the king of YouTube next, man.
How you doing, Jay? Good morning.
What's up, Ron, man? What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. First day of July. June wasn't too bad of a month. The premium side, it wasn't the best, but the rundown videos did pretty well. So I'm looking forward to July, and All-Star break's only, I think, 10 days away now. So usually, in this business, you don't really get a lot of days off because there's always something going on.
Right.
But the All-Star break is the one, the exception where there's just not really anything professional sport-wise going down. So I'll be enjoying those days off. That's for sure.
Facts. Me and you both. Speaking of All-Star, how you like those 4 Rangers in the infield for the American League?
Yeah, I always hate the fan vote because sometimes you'll see, like we saw like 10 years ago, the Royals hijacked the voting, and there was like 6 Royals in the All-Star game. And, some of them were certainly, and the Rangers having a great season and certainly deserving of a few spots, but I'd like to see some, variety there. And it was nice to see a guy like Luis Ariz, who deserves to get that, All-Star spot at second base. We know the Braves, they were kind of hijacking those votes as well with Arcia and stuff. So, congratulations to your Rangers, but I'm starting to get a little bit sick of them.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Baseball going on right now, man. It's a lot going on. I'm super excited, though. Like you said, All-Star break coming down soon, and about the halfway point. We're starting to find out who's good, who's just okay, who's terrible. Any thoughts before anything you kind of caught your eye in baseball? Any team that you think probably not as good now, but they might be ready to heat up, or a team that's heated up that might cool down a little bit? I'm just trying to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of disappointing teams in the first half of the season that had high payrolls. The Mets and the Padres are the two, and you read the comments on the rundown every day. Those are the 2 teams that people target the most. I'm never betting on the Padres again. I'm never betting on the Mets again. And, these are 2 teams that I know the Mets won 100 games last year. The Padres had a great season, the regular season. They had so many, Padres, I think, were favorites to, or one of the, big favorites to win the World Series. So to see them, and the Cardinals included, another team that had a great year last year, to see those teams right now, 5+ games out of the wild card, not even just the division, the wild card, it's surprising. But, we see a lot of teams even go into the All-Star break with an under 500 record and then find a way to get there. The trade deadline is a big, and we're starting to see the trades already with your Rangers getting Aroldis Chapman. It's interesting to see, are the Padres, Mets, Cardinals, are those teams going to be sellers, dish off guys like Tommy Pham and stuff, or are they going to be buyers and try to get, a few pieces, I would say for the New York Mets, a few bats in the lineup, for the Padres, maybe a starting pitcher. But, it's interesting to see. I think that the Padres and the Mets, I think the Padres have a better chance of doing something than the Mets do. I think the Mets, I think it's time to be sellers and kind of start that rebuild. But, we'll have to see.
Yes, sir. We shall see. Keep my eye on your Mets, man. We might try to get Scherzer over here.
Well, that's the biggest thing, and I gotta clear the air here. On the rundown, when you give out every game, you're gonna have people say, "Oh, you like this team, you like this team." I was born and raised a Yankees fan. I'm not a Mets fan, even though I got the Islanders banner. I'm wearing the Mets hat right now. I am a Yankees fan, but I don't let that get in the way. I bet against the Yankees plenty of times this year. I got people telling me I'm a Marlins fan when I wear the Marlins hat. You're a Red Sox lover, which I think is the best, because I grew up hating the Red Sox. So when it really comes to all professional sports, the only team that I would maybe have a little bias towards is those Islanders back there. But I like to wear the Mets hat as kind of like irony, because my best friend's a Mets fan. We always go back and forth. I like to talk crap about the Mets. So I just want to make that known, because I know a lot of people think because I'm an Islanders fan, I'm a Mets fan. But,
hey, you better than me, man. I ain't gonna lie. I tell people, though, I am biased. I am biased. Yep. I'm biased. But at least what I can fall back on is all my teams, except for the Mavs, have been profitable. So,
yep.
So, it's a catch-22.
I fade them. We'll see when the Rangers go.
I fade them. So
yeah, we'll see when those Texas teams, when they start to go through, the rebuilding years. We'll see if Jay's down like 20,000 units by the end of the season.
Never know, man. It might be. Nah, I'm playing. What you looking at for us today, man, in this baseball land?
Yeah, I'm looking at this White Sox game, and it looks like the A's just, James Caprillion was supposed to start in this game, but looks like he is not the official starter anymore. But, if it's a bullpen game for Oakland, this Oakland A's bullpen's not been great this season, and they almost had some issues in last night's game. But Dylan Cease, the big thing with him at the beginning of the season, really struggled. We know he was one of the top 3 starters in the American League Cy Young voting last year. Got off to a rough start to the year at a 4.80 ERA in the month of April. 5.5 ERA in the month of May, but in June, he has looked like that Cy Young caliber starting pitcher that we're used to. In 28 2/3 innings, he had a 2.2 ERA. He had 42 strikeouts, so we know he's a strikeout-dependent guy. It's good to see him miss those bats. He only gave up 3 home runs, and we know a power pitcher like Cease, sometimes the issue with him is giving up the home run ball, but only 3 homers in those 5 starts. The control was a lot better. Didn't even walk a single guy in the last start against the Angels, and he faced some tough teams along the way. The Marlins, the Dodgers, the Rangers, the Angels, all winning records and solid lineups. So, I do think Cease is in the best form we've seen in quite a while, and I do think he'll pitch well against an Oakland A's team. And yes, offensively had a great day yesterday, scored those 7 runs in the win. But overall, in the last month, has just not been very good offensively against righties, against lefties. The team doesn't really strike out a ton, but just doesn't have a lot of pop in the lineup. They're more of a small ball team. They're 25th in OPS in the last 30 days against righties. So I think Cease puts together a really good outing, 6-7 strong innings for the White Sox. Even though, his control's off, he does get his pitch count going up early in starts. I think he'll be able to go deep in this game. I think the White Sox bats will back him up. We saw him in a pretty good series, at least at the end of the series, against the Angels, scoring, I think, 11 runs and 9 runs in those last 2 games. I like the White Sox on the run line here on the road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I'm going to be honest. I looked at this game. I've been kind of fading the White Sox for quite a bit this year, and I seen White Sox minus 220. But in the same breath, they're playing the A's, the AAA A's, as some people like to call them. The A's, they are struggling. They just got no hit by Domingo Germán the other day. Nobody saw that coming. You got to pick your spots trying to bet the A's this season. And the way Cease has been, and I could see him returning back to form like he has been. If there was a spot where I would look at, laying it with the White Sox, it would be today. So I'm with you. I see it.
And these are huge games for the White Sox because you look at that American League Central, even though it's been an embarrassing year so far for Chicago, they're only 5.5 games out because that AL Central is just so weak. So the Tigers are in it, the White Sox are in it, the Royals not so much. They're 18 games out, but there's 4 teams in that race right now, and the White Sox could certainly be buyers at the deadline and make some noise. So these are the games. Yesterday was a really important loss, but these are the games you have to win if you're Chicago if you want to make a run at that division.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm there with you. What you got for sale over at Pick Dogs today?
Yeah, I got 3 total plays on the site. One of them is a 5-inning play for long-term subscribers, but I got my $19 rundown best bet and my MLB evening winner as well. 2 plays I really like. One of those is a run line play, the other one a money line play. So check it out at Pick Dogs Premium.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ron the Don, man. King of YouTube, man. I'm glad to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And
yep, I'll be here.
Yes, sir. So I'll see you then.
All righty. Good luck.
See you later. Ron the Don, man. That's the guy right there. 2 more guests. Next up, I'm going to bring in Mr. Dom Club. I can't say enough about Mr. Eric. Looks like my guy made it back home. He was on the road last week.
I was on the road. Now everybody's talking about football. I am watching the greatest sporting event in all. It's funny because as a dime club, as a syndicate guy, I don't watch the games. I give you an example. I gave out Cincinnati free on YouTube yesterday, and I don't even look at my phone. And then I pick up the phone at like midnight. Did you see that game? Did you see? No, I didn't see. I was doing something completely different. I watch this stuff. First of all, I want to wish Mitch a happy anniversary on how to figure out a website. He did something that I was incapable of. I mean, I've been doing this for 35 years. I think I started my first website in 1998, but I never figured out how to reach the masses. So I decided to go boutique, dealing with the higher end clientele. And I got to tell you, it has been definitely fun to be part of this and watch the comments when I win or when I lose on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
It's mind blowing to me because again, it goes back to when Mitch mentioned Dave and Micah. So Dave and Micah are part of my dime club. So Dave and Micah, I'm the reason why people know about Dave, right? So I found Dave and then brought him to Micah, and then Micah hooked up with Dave, and then we launched this private dime club. We're talking 15 years ago.
Okay.
And from a betting point of view, like looking at the leaderboard and people, it's July 1st. I was looking at the numbers, and Mitch and I are on the same wavelength when it comes to dogs. So just for the viewers, one of the things when I get a call or a text message, Jay, is they ask, "You're not on the leaderboard. What are your results?"
Okay.
So if you've been with us since the inception of the Dime Club, and this just goes, we have two channels. We have a Telegram channel for underdogs and a Telegram channel for favorites.
Okay.
After last night, we're 116 and 152 on the underdog channel. Now, that means we're down 36 games.
All right.
But the average odds are plus 153. Yep. So that means if you've been betting a dime a game, you're down 36 games, you're up $25,480.
Yep.
The flip side of that, why it's so hard to make money on chalk, is we're 98 and 76 on the favorite channel, but the average odds are minus 111.
Yep.
So while you're up 18 games, instead of being down 36 games, you're up $13,564. Like, that's a significant difference. That shows you the value of betting underdogs, betting favorites. You can be down 36 games. And I think a lot of people in this community, and again, I hear Mitch preaching it over and over again, is they're looking at the win-loss percentages on the leaderboards instead of the return on investment on the price. If you're 10-0, but every game is minus 200, from a Dave Miller, from a Micah Smith, from an Eric Pathy point of view, you can't overcome the VIG, because you just need a little losing streak of that favorite team just to whoosh, and you're done. You've just given it all back. You're 10-0 and you're bragging at minus. Like, I'll give you an example. Anybody that would lay on today's game this stupid price in the Dodgers game deserves to lose. Basically, I have no, I am the most brutal anti. Like, anybody that's going to lay 240 I don't care if Kansas City is the worst team. I got a lot of hate last week. I had Kansas City against Tampa Bay for free on YouTube. The comments were exploding, and I love it. Like, this is like, they say any given Sunday we talk about football, and I'm going to tie into what Mitch said about he's never heard about people talking about football so early. But in football, it's any given Sunday, and in this sport, baseball, it's any given day. And you and I discussed this last week. The reason why football is the biggest sport for professional betting syndicates, and this is really important, I love that these shows are archived, is not because football's easier. It's because all the major betting syndicates that we deal with in the Dime Club care about getting down volume. Who cares if you have an edge on a tennis match, but you're limited in your sports book to $40 a game?
Right.
It doesn't matter, right? So when you're betting on the Dallas Cowboys, you can bet 20 million. Doesn't matter. You have liquidity in the markets. So what people always, and I don't know if people ask you, Jay, or email you, what's the easiest sport to bet on? People have this notion that there's an easier or a harder sport to bet on. But from a professional Micah Smith, Dave Miller, Eric Pathy point of view, the only thing that's the most profitable sport to bet on is where can I get the most money down and not be limited. And unfortunately, the hardest sport for a handicapper is the NFL. It's the most efficient line.
Yep.
So it is the hardest sport. The NFL is the hardest sport because the sports books know that the majority of the public is going to be obsessed with the NFL, where you have much more opportunities in college sports.
Yep.
But the volume in Southwest Missouri State in college basketball is not the volume on the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, like I said, overlook this in their betting, and they don't understand that real professional bettors, it's not that they have a love for the NFL or a love for the Monday Night Football game, which if you watched, I did a video the other day on the YouTube channel saying you should go back and watch the How to Be a Professional Sports Bettor with Micah, Mitch, and Dave. Is one of the leaks is on these island games, which is the Sunday Night Football game, the Thursday Night Football game, and the Monday Night Football game. You can bet whatever you want.
Yep.
Volume, where you're just not going to get it in the NFL. And, I mean, in other sports. But again, like I said, I've been with you guys since the beginning of April. This is a amazing opportunity. Like I said, reaching out, trying to educate people. And again, it is, I don't know. I honestly haven't looked at your YouTube videos. I'm like a reptile, 35 years. I don't care what anybody says, like, do the comments when you're losing or winning, do they ever affect you?
Hey, my comments go crazy on the daily. I miss the NBA. I miss reading my comments. They crack me up. They be on me when I'm losing. They call me the GOAT when I'm winning. And the funny thing is, I can be both in the same day. So,
well,
I love them though.
This is what I tell people. Most people that purchase sports information, Jay, don't want winners. You know what they want?
What they want?
Confirmation of their own bad opinion.
Correct.
That's it. They don't want winners.
Yep.
They just want confirmation of their own bad opinion. But regarding my complimentary selection, first of all, on the Pick Dogs premium channel, I posted 3 plays today. Very rare. I normally average 1 game a day. As hot as I am on YouTube, absolutely free with these overnight lines, is as cold as I am in the last couple of days on the daily selection on the premium. So it just goes to show you. Yep. We can't do anything wrong on our Underdog channel this week. We're just killing it on our Underdog channel. We had Cincinnati. It happened to be rare where the underdog play for the Dime Club was Cincinnati. And again, you're a fan. Before I get off the air, did you watch the back and forth of that game? Did you see the insanity of that Cincinnati game, or were you not even looking?
That game was not on my TV yesterday, but I did go back and see the highlights. It was a good game.
So what's interesting about that, a game like that proves my point and kind of Mitch's point of not playing heavy chalk favorites. When you're in the 8th inning, the 9th inning, the 10th inning, the 11th inning, the line was originally set on that starting pitcher. He's not relevant.
Yep.
So you're going to bet Urias minus 250, and I'm not picking on Urias, and that's not my complimentary selection, but the guy's not going to be in the 8th inning. So who cares? It's just a meaningless stat. So my complimentary selection, and again, I do this to irritate people, but it is my complimentary, is just like you're wearing the Texas hat. The Orioles are currently 28-10 as a favorite. They're the number 1 team as a favorite in baseball. There is no other team that even comes close as a favorite in baseball. I'm looking at the stats right now. I mean, it is shocking. I take that back. Atlanta is 47-23 as a favorite, but money-wise, because they're too high of a favorite, you make less money betting on Atlanta than you do betting on Baltimore. So I'm going with the Baltimore Orioles as my complimentary selection today, laying a short price of 30 cents at home here in Baltimore. Is it possible the game could be a rain delay or canceled? Yes, absolutely, because the skies are black here as I look out the window, and I'm not that far away from the stadium. But the game starts at 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. So it could be a delay, it could be canceled, or the storm could move by us. But if that happens, Minnesota is very interesting in the AL Central, and I'm sure you already know this. How you're in the top of your division and you're under 500. You're 41-42, and you're in the top of your division. That is the worst division of everything. And just so you know, Jay, for you, Texas, as good as they are, I got to give you a little Texas breakdown on the money. They make nobody any money. They're only up 6 units for the season.
Yep, they've cooled off. They've cooled off here recently.
Well, I'm just saying the average odds that they're playing is that even when they win, you're laying so much money on the favorite side. I don't know if you realize this. We talked about this last week. They're only plus $120 at home. So there's been the lack of that home field advantage. And I think with a long season like baseball, and we're going to go to the All-Star break in July 11th, is that I think that a lot of these teams, Texas, for instance, Tampa Bay, I mean, do you agree that some of these teams, I'm watching a race that lasts 23 days, the Tour de France. I'll watch all day long, every day. I'm a cycling freak and I'm a cyclist. They have to pace themselves, right? Because it's a 23-day race. Well, think about it. Baseball, 162-game season. You're going to halftime at July 11th. I don't know if they're cooling off. can you also take the attitude maybe they just don't care? They're just trying to get over the All-Star break.
It's tough because I don't know, for the Rangers specifically, because they haven't been here in quite some time. It would be different for like a team that, say the Rangers had did this for the last 3 to 4 years, but they haven't been in this position. So I don't have a barometer to weigh them against to say this is the time of year where they kind of cool off. I can just look at their last 10 and tell you they're 4-6 in their last 10, and that's not the Rangers baseball that we've seen over the course of this season, especially not at home where they have been cranking the baseball. We've seen them over the beginning of the year, they were damn near winning every series they were playing. That has not been the case. They just split with the Tigers. They're now find themselves in a hole against the Astros where this is a very important series. So, you just got to kind of pick your spots with the good teams, and the Rangers right now, maybe they're just not, it's just not their time.
Well, I'll leave you with the Orioles as the comp selection. I will tell you, if my personal opinion is that these teams are playing a positioning game like you see behind me on the Tour de France, which is they got to get past July 11th. They got to get past that All-Star game, and then they can kick it up on all cylinders. For all you Atlanta lovers down there, yes, they're rocking and rolling. They're 9-1 in their last 10. You know how much money, Jay, I'll leave you with this, that you've made if you bet on Atlanta on every home game this season on Atlanta, the favorite to win the World Series currently right now in the sports book. How much money do you think you're up if you've bet to win $100 on every home game this season on Atlanta?
You're probably, let me think. You might be down.
Plus $46.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You might be like dead even. Like,
there's
no
free lunch. There's no free lunch.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'll leave you with that. I'll be back. I'll see you tomorrow if you're going to be hosting. And like I said, let's rock and roll.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Dom Club, Eric, love talking with you, man. You make me a smarter, better. We got to talk a little more sometimes, too.
No problem, man.
I'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Mr. Dom Club, Eric there. If the Dom Club is for you, make sure you call the number. He'll get you set up. One more guy, man, and we're on and up out of here. Last but certainly not least, one of my favorite guys, Hot Rod.
Hey, Jay, how's it going, buddy? Happy Saturday to you.
What's going on, my man?
Happy anniversary to Mitch. 15 years online. That's a accomplishment in itself.
That's crazy.
Right, that's crazy. I've only been at this kind of 4 years, so 15. We're not even close to getting there.
All right.
But we will. I'm excited that we'll get there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, a lot of baseball today. Talking a lot of baseball with the guys. I'm excited about today's card, man. I think there's some money to be made today.
Definitely some money to be made today in this card as well. And of course, I'm the guy I check out the peripheral sports too. Just like I'm a CFL guy, so as Eric was saying, it's like that's one of those sports that is kind of on the side that nobody's unloading on, and I can make money at it. It's one of those little small side sports that are quiet, lightly bet. Because it's Canadian football. It gets me that itch that I'm craving for football again. and it gets me to get that itch scratched a little before we get to the main course of NFL college football, which is what we're all excited for. And yeah, we talk about
which is right around the corner, man. I think about it like this. We're really it's when you kind of think about it, 4 more of these morning shows and it's football.
And it's football. Right? It's like, yeah.
Hey, man, I be trying to cut it down. I be trying to cut it down in my head. Like, what's the best way to think about it till football get here?
And then you think, what, about 4 or 5 more maybe morning shows after that? You got NBA's back, hockey rolls back in, college football, and then college hoops. It'll be Christmas before we know it. It will be.
Yes, sir, man. I'm excited, man. I'm enjoying baseball right now, though. And like Ron said, I'm kind of looking forward to that All-Star break, a little time.
Oh, yeah, right? Recharge the batteries, get recouped, and for that last push of the season or of the year. Love it. Got it. We don't get many times to be able to sit back and relax and enjoy it. on that time off, it's still going to be looking at something. Are we reading about football or hockey, or because those they don't stop just because it's the All-Star break? They're still going to make NBA trades. They're still going to make NHL trades. Those are still going to be going on.
Yep. Yep. Yes, sir. What you looking at for us today?
And we're gonna head to we're looking at this baseball game. We're gonna be versus the Guardians and the Cubs. We're looking at this one here, and on the other side, Guardians sending BB on the mound, and he's been not so good those last 3 starts. 1-1 with a 5.68 ERA and a 1.66 WHIP. Yikes, he's leaving some guys on, and the bats are gonna crush. On the other side of it, sure, we got Stroman, who's been pitching lights out this season. Well, except against the Cardinals. But that just seems to be his kryptonite, is pitching against the St. Louis Cardinals. The team's lost twice when he's faced the Cardinals. It seems that one team just has Stroman's number. Other than that, lights out. Before his last loss, he's winner of 7 straight, and definitely been lights out pitching over those 7 games, where he hasn't given up more than 2 runs in those 7 games. So I expect Stroman with a big bounce back after that loss. The last time we see him to the Cardinals, which has been his kryptonite. You look, last 10 games after you throw it to the bullpen. I got the Cubs bullpen at 1.32 ERA over the last 10 games, with the Guardians 2 runs higher than that with a 3.32 ERA. After that, and you look it up following the Cubs 10-8 following a Game 1 win, while the Guardians 6-9 following a Game 1 loss. Guardians haven't had huge success in interleague play at all on the road, especially 2-9 in the last 11 interleague games on the road, 1-6 in the last interleague games on the road versus a right-handed starter are these Guardians. Well, the Cubs 7-2 in their last 9 following a win, 8-3 in their last 11 versus a right-handed starter. I think Stroman pitches a gem for us here today, and the Cubs bats, as we've seen in Game 1, are definitely hot and heating up. So go with the Cubs here in this one.
The Cubbies, I like them. I like them today. Stroman did get cranked against the Cardinals. Wasn't that the London game? That was the London game?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, no, it was before the London game. I think it was the one right before the. No, yeah, it wasn't the London game. You're right.
It was the London game
where he got rocked. But for some reason, remember I gave you that stat that he's like 0-5 or something.
You did. I remember.
Cardinals? He's just he struggles.
So yeah, that was the London game, and you talked about that game last week. Okay, yeah, I'm caught up. Yep. No, I like Stroman. Stroman, he's been that guy this year. So, and I think I told you the other day, I said, I don't know, man. Stroman, I think I told you that last week. He was on fire, man. So I didn't really want to fade him. You kind of told me the Cardinals was his kryptonite. So I could see my guy bouncing back though. Like, he's been fire this year if you've been paying attention. The Guardians, they're a hard team for me to figure out. They're a 50-50 team. You'd never really know on a daily basis if they're going to hit, if they're not going to hit. Their pitching is so-so. And they're just not a team that I like to back very often. They've lost 3 of their last 5. And 2 of their wins were against the Royals, the second worst team in baseball. So I'm on you. I'm with you. The Cubs cranked them yesterday. Guardians bats didn't get rolling. I doubt they get rolling today. Cubbies.
Hey, Chris Lynch, Steele pitched the first game of the London series. They played 2 over in London. Yeah. Just to answer your quick question, I see there in the chat there. Didn't Steele pitch the London game? Yep, he pitched game 1. Stroman pitched game 2 for the Cubbies.
Yep.
Why Stroman only won -135? Look at what was the Rays yesterday. This is what I was looking at yesterday. Why would the Rays were only -135 with McClanahan on the mound, and look what happened in that one.
So this I've been saying this about baseball now that I'm going like a full season through. Last year when I joined Pick Dogs, I joined at the middle, so it's kind of like baseball had already begun. This year I'm going through it the whole way through, and what I'm seeing is baseball lines on a daily, man. You can find value. Like the books are just they're just not dialed in. They're just not. In the NBA, I wasn't finding this high value on teams on a daily. This doesn't happen. I don't know if it's because there's more volume on the NBA on a daily. I might got to ask Eric this question tomorrow. If there's more volume on the NBA daily, more people betting it, so the lines are sharper, or why do we get, lines that I would say most people think, are pretty cupcake in baseball on a daily? It seems like on a daily, there's like one or two lines where you're like, man, that's not what that line should be. Like you said, the Rays yesterday, I thought they should have been like, I got kind of nervous just thinking about it. It kind of scared me off. It kind of scared me off because they were so low, but it was the right place to be. So,
and I think that's what the book tried to do. They tried to scare you off on that play, going, "Hey, to make this low, people jump this side." So that's what I figured. I took Seattle yesterday, and wow, did that get me late? Ooh, should have taken the first 5 because they looked good early, and then the Rays poured on.
Yep.
So that's what I'm thinking here today too. Look, it's almost the exact same line as what we seen in the Rays game yesterday. So I think it's scared me off. Stroman's going to pitch lights out, is like he has all season long. He's not facing the Cardinals. Yes. And the Guardians, we've seen them at times struggle to score, and it's not pitching great or not hitting against right out of hitting. They won 6 in the last 7. So go with the Cubs.
Cubbies. What you got for sale today at Pick Dogs?
And then for me over at Pick Dogs today, we're rolling right along there in the last 3 days. 8-2 run with my best bets over at Pick Dogs. You can scoop up a 3-pack that I got going. In that 3-pack, it includes my best bet play of the day. This is the play that I make the biggest bet on over at Pick Dogs every day. We're on a nice 25-11 run with that. You can scoop it up singly for $15 over at Pick Dogs, or it is included in the 3-pack. Head on over. Let's make some money. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save 50% off all your purchases. Jump aboard. Let's make some money.
Yes, sir, man. Scoop up Hot Rod. Let me give out a free play before I go. Give me the Giants with the plus money, man. I kind of talked about it with Ron earlier. The Mets, they're just not a minus 145 team for me right now, even with Verlander on the mound. Verlander hasn't even been that good this year. So minus 145 with a struggling Mets team is just not somewhere I want to be. The Giants over the last month or two have been one of the hottest teams in baseball. I could see this being a spot for them. They got a dub yesterday against this Mets team. I think they get another one. This is where they absolutely feast. They are money in this underdog spot, 30-13 on the run line. But we're taking them on the money line in this one today. I think they go crazy. So give me the Giants with DeScalfani on the man. He's not one of my favorite guys, but I think he does enough to keep the Giants in the game. And then we know the Giants probably the best late team in baseball. The Giants, when you're down 1, that's probably the one team when I'm down. I mean, when they're down late in the game, I'm not worried at all. The Giants, that's the one team. Everybody else, when you're kind of down like 6th, 7th, 8th, you start to get that feeling in your stomach like, man, it's over, man. Damn, it's over. The Giants, I don't get that feeling. I don't get that feeling, man. They usually show up, show out, and they win a lot of games late. So not scared of Verlander. I think we're getting great value with the San Fran Giants today. So that's my free play. I have 3 plays for sale today. I might add one more for my long-term people. But I got 3 plays. I have my $19 MLB play of the day. I dropped it yesterday, but I'll get back on track. I've been pretty high on that play of the day. I am currently 9. I've hit 9 of my last 13 on the MLB play of the day. So I'm trying to keep that rolling. You can scoop that up today. And then, like I said, I got the 3-pack. So a lot of baseball today. Can't wait for it. Got all day action. I love when we got all day action, middle, and then night action. So check us out, man, over at Pick Dogs Premium. Rod, anything else before we get on out of here?
Definitely one more play for everybody. As I said, I dabble into these side sports. I love the CFL. So guess what plays all weekend? The CFL. So there's a game going on here tonight, and we got the Winnipeg Blue Bombers taking on the Montreal Alouettes. And you look, both these teams are. You look Montreal undefeated to start the season. But don't let that fool you. This Montreal team, they played some soft teams. They played Ottawa, who has a really bad offense, as we seen last night. They played the Elks, so of course they got the win last night. Then Montreal went and played Hamilton, and their offense is a mess. No Boley, Mitchell. And you look at Montreal, they gave up over 300 passing yards to the Hamilton offense in that game. They did get the win. And then you look at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and sure, they won the first 2 games with ease. And then they played the BC Lions, who I think is the best team in the CFL right now. So understandably, they only scored 6 points. So they're going to be mad. And this Winnipeg Blue Bombers team has made the Grey Cup the last 2 seasons in a row. They are solid. Collaros, if you can give up 300 and something yards to a guy named Schlitz, you're going to be in trouble against Collaros. Montreal is the team that only has got 3 sacks all season long. So Collaros, with lots of time in the backfield, I think he throws for 400 plus yards today. Take the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, lay the 6 points. They win by a touchdown plus today. I also like the over. I think scoring comes early and often in this one. But the better play, take Winnipeg, win by a touchdown plus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's gonna do it for the show, man. Mitch 15 for the free consensus report. Make sure y'all scoop that up. Go over to Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, and tell him, man, thank you for everything he's done for us. The money he's helped all of us make, man. Go congratulate him on his 15 years, man. Just go say something nice in his comments. Get that free consensus report. Let's make some money on a Saturday. New month, new goals, new opportunities. And guess what? We'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. So, Hot Rod, man, appreciate you joining me. Appreciate everybody in the comments. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. We're out of here. Peace.